our classes and the challenges, he'll show people he has over $1 million in funding.
Yeah.
Like, you can't fake that. That is information. He's helped me get over $250,000 in funding from conversations. And that's why it's so important that you get around the right people, because conversations change compensation. If you learn how to be a person that can leverage AI, then you won't be replaceable, because you know how to leverage the tool. It's not going to replace you if you know how to use it.
The problem with most individuals is that they're around people that's not like them, and you're trying to figure out, why do I act different? Why do I think different? Why do I want to invest in myself? But then when I start to tell people how these conversations, they looking at me weird, or they saying I changed, I'm acting phony. Well, no, it's not that I'm acting phony. I'm actually focused. So I'm gonna let you confuse focus with phony. I gotta go crazy. I gotta level up.
Hey, wait. I know you want to watch this next video, but listen, if you are an entrepreneur, business coach, business consultant, or a small business owner who has a story and wants to learn how to create multiple streams of income from your story, I need you to text me right now, my book, to 646-687-4152. That is my personal number. I have been an author for over 12 years. I've written 10 books. 4 of them have been bestsellers, and I've sold over 100,000 books. But I've also helped a lot of my clients take their expertise and put it into a story, then create multiple streams of income from that. So I want to help you do the same thing. So text my book to 646-687-4152. All right, let's go back to the video. All right, so welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Vault with Ash Cash, the greatest money mindset show on the planet. Listen, today we are talking about passive income using ChatGPT. This show is going to be a revolutionary episode because we are marrying the technology and financial know-how to help you unlock the secrets of wealth building. This show is bound to leave you with enlightenment, equipped, and excited about your financial future. First, we got my guy, Dion Coopwood. He is a trailblazer in the financial industry and a pioneer in the credit management space, known for embracing the cutting edge of technology and champion of artificial intelligence, the king of Metro 2 compliance. He successfully created a system that makes credit improvements simpler, more accurate, and unbelievably efficient. Also, we got my guy, George Acheampong, who is no less extraordinary, a financial advisor with a unique philosophy that balances AI technology and the irreplaceable human touch. He believes that embracing innovation without losing the personal, intuitive insights that only humans can provide will be uncovering his strategies to empower your investment decisions. And lastly, we got my guy, the tax professional for the culture, Carter Cofield, who is an absolute mastermind in creative tax strategies for entrepreneurs, with his firm belief that AI cannot capture the nuances of tax planning and the individuality each client brings. He's here to shed light on the importance of personalized tax strategies. Tonight, we're going to deep dive in the world of finance and AI. We're going to teach you how to get the bag, keep the bag, invest the bag. Ladies and gentlemen,
let's go.
Wow. That's an intro.
So we're gonna clip that up. We're gonna send it to everybody, whoever does the podcast. Y'all,
that's how you intro. That's the standard, man.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm excited, right, about this particular episode because I think there are a lot of people who are not embracing technology. Like they think that artificial, so we're literally in the 4th industrial revolution, like right now, right? Yeah. And as we think about the 3rd industrial revolution that went from analog to digital, you're right. So we're in this other space where when you think about the .com boom and billionaires were made during that time, that's the 3rd industrial revolution. We're in the 4th industrial revolution where artificial intelligence, robotics, the Internet of Things, all of that stuff is changing every industry, right? The blockchain, all of that is changing every industry. And I feel like there are, when we talk about the wealth gap, we talk about how far, specifically our community is as it relates to finances. We have a unique opportunity right now to leverage technology with finance to really get the bag, keep the bag, invest the bag, and really create financial freedom for our next generation. And and it's just, listen, y'all, this is an urgent episode, right? And it's urgent because right now it's like a small window to really just embrace the technology, embrace all the different ways to leverage it, technology with finances to get to that next level. So I got a lot of questions, but for those who don't know y'all, please introduce yourself. Let the people know who we got today.
So I go first, Dion Coopwood, man. Y'all already know, from the south side of Chicago. Man, just moved to Atlanta within the last 14 months. And just been keeping my head down, just working and grinding. Like you said, I helped invent and create a software that leveraged Metro 2 compliance in order to help people get to the bag, because that hurdle is personal credit, right? And so I'm helping people improve and enhance their personal credit we talking about record-breaking times, right? In order to put people in position to go get that money so that they can invest that to go ahead and, start growing, scaling their business. Let's
go.
Yeah, what's going on, family? My name is George Acheampong. I've been a financial advisor for the past 13 years. I actually ranked as one of the top 100 advisors in the nation 2 years in a row. Just got notified yesterday.
Let's go.
Again, and so
which is a big deal because I'm in that space. And to be ranked top 100 of financial advisors is important because of your skin color, though. This is a white man's game.
Big facts.
It's a white man's game. It's 2% of us. I know the numbers. You can't sell me. We know the prices, right? 2%. So to be ranked top 100 is a big deal. Round of applause for you, brother. Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
that, bro. And my whole goal is to help people achieve financial independence 3 times faster, right? And ultimately help 100,000 people to look like us achieve economic independence. So that's what I'm about, and I'm ready to rock.
Yes, sir. Let's get it. Carter Cofield, y'all know, from the south side of Chicago, the tax advisor for the culture.
Yes, sir.
When it comes to bringing the tax saving strategies to our people, I think it's my responsibility to do so. I don't see anybody in our space that's taking it as seriously as I am, because as a black culture, we just start getting money, right? We just start understanding entrepreneurship and getting money, and that's cool, but nobody's teaching us how to keep it. And people are making all this money, getting this huge tax bill, and they're giving 50% of their money away. That's like working. If you're giving 50% of your money away, what I tell people, that's working the first 6 months of the year for free. Ooh, that's crazy, right? So I don't want that to happen. So my job is to help us keep all the money that we make with creative tax strategies, and that's my goal. And I'm gonna give y'all some games today.
Let's go.
And so I want to jump right in, right? In each of you, the respective fields, right? How has technology and AI technology affected your field, and how do you see, from a futuristic perspective, how it's going to help us manage our money faster?
I can start. So for me, I had to realize that I couldn't keep trying to do everything myself. The human can only really go so far from that perspective. And I don't know their angle on it, but my angle was, when we talking about, in the credit space, I spent a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of effort trying to put together letters to get my clients the results when I was running my credit repair company. And so for me, I was like, I need to do digging, I need to do some research to figure out what's going to be the next best thing so I can get people to that ultimate goal with good credit so they can go out there and live their best lifestyle and be able to do what they want to do. And so for me, that's where I was able to leverage artificial intelligence, come up with the software that is now a game changer. So I'm saying, you know what? Instead of me trying to do everything by myself and be a solo entrepreneur, which is like me just trying to figure everything out, not really leveraging technology, not really getting any help. And I think that's why most entrepreneurs' income is so low, because they're a solo entrepreneur, right? It's like you're trying to do everything, trying to figure everything else by yourself. But when I was able to leverage artificial intelligence and technology, we started to get results faster. We were doing less work. And so that's why with the technology that I created with Leverage Metro 2 Compliance with artificial intelligence, now people are seeing their credit profile enhanced faster. Now people who are running credit repair organizations, they are getting better results and they're doing less work, and they can charge more money because they're getting results faster. And so for me, being able to leverage technology and seeing what it's done for not just my business, but for my mentees' business, it's just a game changer for me. So for me, technology has definitely been a critical part of the investment for my business.
Yeah, and I love that though too, because when you start thinking about the numbers, right? I love numbers, I love data. When you start thinking about the numbers, we're 7 out of 10 credit reports have an error in them.
Absolutely.
Right, and that's not just culture. That's everybody, right?
Yeah.
And so to be able to leverage a technology like artificial intelligence and understanding Metro 2 compliance and knowing like that's the law, right? And if you infuse what the law is with this technology and it helps you do it faster,
that's it.
Now you're helping people, right? Access funding, access other people's money to be able to build that wealth.
That's it. I love it, bro.
Yeah.
George, talk to me, man.
Yeah, man. For me, like I think while artificial intelligence is the buzzword of the past like 24 months, I think we got to realize what artificial intelligence is, right? So like for me, when I think about investing or research, the way that McDonald's decides where they want to put a new location, they put millions of dollars of research to determine where's going to have the most traffic, what makes the most sense. What Burger King does is they just put it across the street from McDonald's. Right? So that's how I look at technology, right? It's like, okay, well, Vanguard has spent billions of dollars on research, right, to figure out what they believe are the best top performing companies, right? So if I can leverage a tool like ChatGPT to say, all right, well, cool, show me the best performing stocks over the past decade, right? Now that's augmenting all the time I got to do personally to do research, and then I use that as the basis of my thesis. I still got to do my own research, but I've expedited the timeline dramatically by leveraging ChatGPT and all of the knowledge and all of the data that it has access to be the sounding board for how I want to build out my portfolio. Because people say all the time, you can't beat the market. You absolutely can beat the market, right? All you have to do is take the core index funds that Vanguard, QQQ, all these companies have put together. Then you dig into them to see, okay, what are the top performing sectors? What are the top performing holdings? And how can I be a little bit more overweight than they are, right? And then that's how you can outperform the market. And so I use technology to augment the research process so I can expedite my timeline on being able to put these portfolios together.
Yeah, and I love what you said, and let me just unpack that for a second, because I think that what people don't realize, and I love the analogy and the example that you gave of McDonald's, because that's absolutely true, right? When you look at the success rate of McDonald's, when you look at how much money they put into research and development in order to say, all right, this is the spot we're going to open. We know what businesses are going to be here. We know the population. We know all of this information. And so we're going to open up this restaurant here, and our success rate is like 90%. Like we never necessarily fail.
Right.
And so we're like a 90% success rate. And so if the competitor, which is Burger King, is Wendy's, and all these other fast food joints, all they got to do is look at, McDonald's and say, all right, they did the research already, so let me just go right here, right? Same thing you're saying with investing. When you look at these, Vanguard funds, you look at these indexes, you look at these people or these institutions that put in so much money in the research, instead of having to redo what they've done already, you could take that approach and say, hey, ChatGPT, but you got to know the prompts though, right? You got to know what prompts to ask ChatGPT in order to compare it to a Vanguard or these other indexes, that's how you could save some time and really start to make your money work for you.
Big facts.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So first thing people need to understand is there's a difference between a tax preparer and a tax strategist.
Yeah.
Right. So a tax preparer was most people have. That's somebody you give your information to. They put it in their machine and their tax software, and they file their taxes. What AI is going to do in my space is going to replace tax preparers, because tax preparers make errors, and that's why you have issues with your tax return, right? Yeah. But when you have AI can populate your tax return for you. Now, a tax strategist is something different. That's somebody who's looking at your situation day by day, month by month, and giving you strategies that you can implement that year to minimize your tax liability. I'm a tax strategist. AI will never replace me because it can't think the way I can think about somebody's situation and foresee potential deductions. So for me, in my space, I understand that the good news when it comes to AI is that people are no longer going to have to go to, Uncle Ray to get their taxes done because they're going to have AI to be able to prepare their taxes, but they're still going to need a tax strategist to give them the strategies. You can go to ChatGPT and say, give me the best tax deductions for a content creator. Cool. But how do you implement them the right way so the IRS doesn't come knocking at your door saying you did the strategy wrong?
Facts.
So that's why I think AI is going to work in my space. So it's going to help people with their tax returns, but you still need a tax strategist to give you the strategy of how to execute properly, because nobody wants issues and trouble with the IRS.
Yeah, especially because they locking people up.
Yeah, you go to jail, bro.
And, right, so you go to jail,
Going
right?
to jail.
But ChatGPT told me, well, slow down.
We got to come get ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And so George, I want to circle back to you for a second because I feel like, in our space, a lot of people are looking for passive income, right? Sure. Yeah. And there are many ways, but few ways, right, to create passive income. Yep. The number one way is ownership, right? Yep. And when you create ownership, whether it's ownership in a business, ownership in real estate, right, that creates that level of passive income if you do it right. Yeah. And people don't realize that investing in the market is ownership in a business.
100%.
But it's ownership in a business that that's tried and true. That you could, it's public. You can see the financials. You can see everything. But you have this unique way of how you can help people invest or make money with the same dollar 3 times.
Yeah.
Yo, talk to me about that.
And the ironic part is it actually encompasses all of our worlds, right? From a tax saving standpoint and from a credit leverage standpoint. So the first thing is, I had to dispel the myth for people that financial independence has nothing to do with age, right? We see people retire at 65, 70, and we're thinking like, oh, we make the connection that that's how long it takes to become financially free. Yeah. But the reality is it has nothing to do with age. It has everything to do with assets, right? And so if you can increase your income earning potential and take more of that capital to invest, you can get to that target a lot faster, right? So the first thing is you have to have a high income skill set so you can allocate more money towards investing, right? Once you start investing, now, okay, let's say that you just get the typical average 10% return that they tell you. Mine's a lot better than that, but let's just say it's 10% to be conservative, right? Then at that point, it's like, okay, cool. Now, even if I'm investing a lot of money, $100,000 a year, 50 grand a year, whatever it is, that's great. But how can I take that money and then expedite my timeline? The first thing you got to do is you have to understand leverage, right? And so when you have money invested in a brokerage account at almost any institution, they're going to say, okay, well, I see you have this $100,000 sitting here. Why wouldn't I give you a line of credit against that? Because if you try to run off on the plug, I'm just going to sell you out of your stocks, right? Yeah. So you have that collateral. So then you're able to do what Dion teaches you how to do. You're able to leverage it, right? So now you can leverage that collateral to go buy real estate, to go invest in a business that you own but do not run, right? And that's going to produce cash flow. The stock market is a great tool for appreciation. It's probably the most passive way to invest, but from a cash flow standpoint, it's not the most efficient, right? Like the 4% rule says that, if you withdraw 4% from your portfolio, you'll never run out of money, which means you have to have over $1 million just to produce 40K, right? Which isn't bad, but it's not the most efficient. So I said, okay, well, what's a better way to produce the cash flow is to invest in assets that have higher yields from a cash flow perspective, like real estate, like owning a business that you own but do not run, like a cleaning business or something like that. So then you borrow against your portfolio to go acquire that asset. Meanwhile, that 100,000 in this example is still growing, right? Still accumulating. But because you're borrowing it and the IRS doesn't recognize borrowed money as income, now you're borrowing that money tax free.
Bro, it's so crazy. We were at
Wait, you talking spicy?
Bro, we were at dinner, bro, and he explained this to me. I dropped my plate, bro. Like literally. Because when you borrow against your portfolio, the money is still invested. So if you had 100,000, you still gonna get the full return on investment of that 100,000. Then you borrow against the portfolio. Say you borrow 40,000, you got $40,000 tax free.
Tax free. And IRS is gonna let you write off the loan interest.
And then when you pay interest back to the loan itself, you get a tax deduction for it at the same time.
It's like the closest thing to legal money laundering that exists. Right? It's ridiculous, right? And so now you've taken that 40,000 in his example, and you went to you got in a short-term rental game, you got in a Turo game, whatever it is you decided to do, but that you prioritize the asset that's going to cash flow, right? That asset's going to produce cash flow. So it's like, okay, cool, I got 2 options. I can either one, start to live off that cash flow, or if I'm still on my financial independence journey, I can take that cash flow and I can reinvest it back into the portfolio, which is going to increase my line of credit, increase the size of my account, which is going to increase my returns, and allows me to rinse and repeat. So now I invested in the portfolio once, leverage it to buy a cash flow producing asset, then reinvested the cash flow and put it right back into the same portfolio to keep the train going.
So let me, because when he explained it to me, and I ran the play. So I say I had $200,000 invested. I was able to borrow $60,000. My $200,000 is still making me money. I think that $60,000, I bought a Lamborghini, right? The Lamborghini now, I bought a Lamborghini, right? And then I rent out the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini makes me $15,000 a month now renting it out. And the Lamborghini saved me $220,000 in taxes because I'm able to write it off because I'm using it in a business. So I borrow money from a portfolio, it's still making money. I got a tax-free loan, use that money to buy a Lamborghini. The Lamborghini is now producing $15,000. So the money that my Lamborghini produces is paying off the money I just borrowed from my own portfolio. And I got a $200,000 tax deduction at the same time. That doesn't make sense.
Right. And one thing I want to do is I want to give context, right? Because you see a lot of people on the internet, they're like, oh, you can make $1 million a month, and like you don't understand like how the play actually makes sense, right? And so the first thing you got to realize is when you're investing in your brokerage account to run this play, is you want to invest in high quality assets, right? You don't want to invest in a stock that is unproven, right? A penny stock or something like that, because it's going to have a lot more volatility, right? You want to invest in proven stocks like Apple, Microsoft, Google, right? Because your portfolio is essentially becoming your bank, right? And so you want something that, it's going to fluctuate, but it has a long-standing track record, so that when you're borrowing that 40%, right, like you're not going to get liquidated because of the volatility, right? And then also the reason why you want to reinvest that portion of the money back into it, so that as your portfolio is growing, the percentage that you're borrowing is actually decreasing, right? And so that's where the volatility comes from, is if you're borrowing the maximum amount that your account will allow. So I just want to give that context so people don't go out and try to buy like this highly volatile stock, borrow 40%, and then wondering why they're getting liquidated out of their shares, right?
And you can use ChatGPT to let you know what those high quality 100%.
Like
you just did it before.
You literally, right before we got on, I just typed in what are the top best performing stocks over the last decade, and it gave me 5, which are what you said, 68%.
So 68% of my holdings were in that list.
Wow.
And you could and I pay a financial advisor. You know, George is my financial advisor. But it gave me 68% of what's in the portfolio. But so it can give you the start, but you still need that human aspect to keep you in the game.
You see why I hang with him,
man? But you gotta understand, I'm sitting here geeking out, right? Because I'm listening to all this stuff, and I'm like, because I understand the concepts and the principles, the light bulbs are bing, bing, they're like lighting up all at once. And it's crazy because even in this scenario, this is asset-based lending. And so really it's based on the assets that you have. And so it's really not really based on your credit per se. Right? Because this is all, right?
You literally instantly, right? You deposit the money, instantly you have the access to borrow, like literally overnight.
So let me give you the scenario. And this is not investment advice, right? But let me give you the scenario. Thank you. Disclaimer. My old world came to me like, Ash told me to go get a credit card. And didn't invest that money. And then I wasn't gonna pay taxes. Like, nah.
Slow down, Turbo.
I didn't say that. But let me give you the scenario, right? Dion, somebody has bad credit right now. Dion does his Metro 2 magic, gets them to fix their credit. Gets them a line of credit for a certain amount of money, like let's say $100K somehow, right? They get this $100K.
That's light work for Dion.
Right, light work, $100K. They liquidate that $100K. They invest it with George. In a high value portfolio. They then borrow from that portfolio, and then start to run a play that creates them cash flow. They use that cash flow, right? Let's say they buy a Lamborghini, right? And now they use that cash flow to pay back
the loan.
Right? Like, is that plausible? Walk me through that.
Okay. It's definitely, it's all interest rate arbitrage, right? Like the thing that about debt that people get confused is because they're used to buying liabilities with debt, right? They're used to buying something, having a 6% interest rate, paying it off, and at the end of the day, they pay more than for the liability than they bought it for, right? But when you look at it from an asset perspective, it's just arbitrage. Okay, well, if Dion got me this line of credit for what's a reasonable interest rate that you can get somebody average credit?
Line of credit is less than 10%, right?
Well, if you do, if it's don't be less than 10%, if they want to do like a line of credit, like a loan where they infuse the money directly to their bank account, maybe 3 to 5%.
3 to 5%, right? So what that means is if we can find an asset to invest in that we know is going to yield above 3 to 5%, we're in the good, right? So then one of my portfolios has done 50% year to date, right? So
that's insane.
So if we were to take
50% year to date,
bro, like, I saw the portfolio. It's at 52%, bro. Like that means if you put 100,000, you made 51. You made somebody's salary on accident. This is completely passive.
So if we took his line of credit, right, in this example.
They talking spicy.
Right, no sauce sold separately. So we took his line of credit, right?
Yeah.
We invested, we owe 5% on that, 3 to 5%. We're gonna make 50%. In this example, it's not standard return, but let's just say it's 10%. In that example, it's still double, right? The interest rate. So now it's like, okay, boom. So now I've been able to understand that I can offset that interest rate. Yep. And so now what do? Okay, well, I still have margin there, so I can even then borrow against the value of that portfolio to rinse and repeat. But maybe if I have a low risk appetite, maybe I wanna, like you said, start to pay off some of that loan. And maybe I'm paying some of that back. But I acquire the cash flow producing asset, and now I have the cash flow. I can pay off the loan, I can reinvest some of it, and I can just rinse and repeat and keep running the play.
And then now, off of nothing though, like
off of nothing, it's none of your money.
None of it was your money. In this particular scenario, off of nothing, you have now created wealth for yourself.
Yeah. See, that's what we came together and started teaching, because like it starts with Dion, getting them the funding, right? They can use that funding to start investing, and then if they want to borrow against their investment portfolio, they can use that to buy a tax leveraged asset like a real estate property. If you buy a real estate property, you can probably write off 40% of the value of the property that the year that you purchase it. So if you use the money and put 10% down on a $500,000 property, that's $50,000. You can write off about $200,000 of that property with a proper tax strategy that we call cost segregation. So like get in the bag, invest in the bag, and keeping it. Like this is what wealthy people have been doing for years. We didn't have access to the information.
It's a variation on the strategy that we probably heard of as buy, borrow, die, right? It's like if you're buying assets, you're borrowing against them. The only thing we're doing is we're trying to expedite our financial independence timeline. So after we borrow, we're not stopping there, and we're going to buy another asset, right? So it's buy, borrow, buy. And
We're gonna be living for a long time.
And I love that philosophy, right? Buy, borrow, die. You buy, you borrow from what you bought. You can't pay taxes on the debt, and so you have you have to have like a life insurance policy on your life. So now when you die, that life insurance policy
tax free,
tax free. Pays off this debt. Now the people who you care for, they inherit this asset debt free
and clear,
and they could keep running that play over and over and over again.
And they can go borrow against that property they just paid off to get access to $300,000, $400,000, and they go use that to start a business
and do that again.
But here's the thing though, this because it starts with me, right? Listen, people
keep it hot now.
I'm gonna keep it hot. That's my thing. Hot. HOT, humble, open, and transparent. People they're not leveraging credit. We talking about leveraging credit. This is a whole different conversation. And I mean, we were talking yesterday. We were talking about what is like one of the big myths when we talk about leveraging credit. And the thing is people are not leveraging credit because at home nobody's taught credit. Like we're taught about I ask my mentees all the time when they first start. Well, what do you know about credit? They say, well, stay the hell away from it is the first thing. They say only use it for emergencies or maybe for gas. And
gas is an emergency.
So it's like, okay, well, stay away from it or use it for emergencies. That's the first thing. That's the barrier that I got to get past. The second thing is when people get access to this credit, what ends up happening is they don't run plays like we talking about. They don't leverage credit. They just use credit.
They buying Louis V.
Yeah, they just buying Louis Vuitton, Gucci. They buying a new car. They just going into more debt. Whereas we're talking about creating good debt. We're saying go out there and get access to cash and capital, and then taking that and leveraging it and running the plays that they're talking about, and just creating generational wealth and creating more income for yourself. Whereas again, this is not what we taught in school. We're not taught this anywhere. So it starts with me, yes, but I want to make sure that people understand, like, we're not talking about just using credit. So if we get your credit in a position where you can go get access to capital and funding, then don't take that money and just go shopping. This is not about a shopping spree. It's about you position your family's life for generational wealth.
And how do you get them? How do you get people to change their mindset about this stuff? Right? Because when I came up, investing was for white people. Tax strategies is like it's for the 1%. Right? Like how do you get? Because I know it's a mindset.
Oh, for
right?
sure.
I know it's a mindset.
100%.
And how do you begin to like penetrate that mindset?
I think the first thing is you have to reframe like the understanding and the use case for investing. So for example, we hear this term retirement, and it thinks about stopping working 40 years from now. All retirement means is that you have enough assets that can produce the cash flow, so you don't have to produce the cash flow.
Facts.
Right? So if you understand that basis, you can understand immediately, oh, wait, it ain't about being 65. It's about having investments that literally mean working is optional. So we can do stuff like this that we truly enjoy. And whether we make money from it or not, we don't care. We don't need it, right? And so it's reframing the mindset on the intentionality behind investing, right? The goal is to buy back your time, right? And so if you can understand that Apple, Google, Tesla, all these people that are working every day, right? I make the same salary they make, but the difference is I don't work for those companies, right? I make the same salary that some of these employees at these companies make, and I don't clock in. I don't know. I don't attend any meetings, right? But I get the same money because I own a piece of the company, right? Warren Buffett makes more than the CEO of Coca-Cola off dividends, right? So when you understand the only objective of investing is to buy back your time so that you can live your life, that's the first reframe, right? And then from there, it's like, okay, well, people say investing is risky. Okay, well, I say, all right, well,
what's the price for not investing?
Right, what is the cost? Like, it literally would have cost me 51% of whatever I have invested right now, right? A person's 6-figure salary is what it would have cost me to buy into this illusion that investing is risky, right? It's risky to not invest. It's risky to be on the sidelines and have your money parked in the bank account while inflation is eroding your purchasing power. That you might see the $50,000 in your account, but wait 2 years ago to try to go buy something. It ain't gonna feel like $50K, right?
And it's risky when you don't know what's happening with the economy. Right? Yo, we're about to go into an election year. You know what happens in an election year. People are afraid. Companies are pulling back. And so it's risky to have all of your livelihood, how you feed your family, how you feed yourself, how you, like, the future of your financial freedom is connected to this one job that can go away. Even if you're the hardest worker, you can work so hard and something happens in the economy where that job is no longer there. Now you don't have a way to feed your family.
Like, look at all the layoffs last year, right?
Crazy.
And you think about it, it's like the same companies that laid all these people off, you got to understand the why. When you look at a company's balance sheet, like you talked about having access to their balance sheet, right? These publicly traded companies, what's one of their biggest line items? It's personnel, right? So in the stock market is not the economy. So it's like, okay, as a company, how am I going to look more attractive publicly if I can mitigate some of my big expenses?
And AI is here. Let's not forget about that.
Right.
And
AI
300 million jobs, they say, is going to be lost using AI.
But if you learn how to be a person that can leverage AI, then you won't be replaceable because you know how to leverage the tool. It's not going to replace you if you know how to use it. You know what I'm saying? And I think you had a great question, Ash, earlier. What can we do to reframe our mind? For me, it was understanding what the purpose of money was, right? Poor people think that the purpose of money is just to pay bills. So they make just enough money to pay their bills. Middle class people think the purpose of money is to buy things that make them happy. So they get a nice car, they get a nice house, and they think that's the purpose of money. Wealthy people understand this fact. The purpose of money is to use it to make more money.
Facts.
That's it. Like, you want to take your dollars, put them to work so they can start making money babies, put them in the money maternity ward to make more money. Every dollar that you get is a soldier to go work for you. If you put enough soldiers in the field, you don't have to work for the money anymore.
And to piggyback off of that real quick, from a mindset perspective, it's poor people live week to week, middle class live month to month, the rich live year to year, the wealthy live generation to generation. And the challenge is so many people can only see what's right in front of them, largely because of circumstance, right? So it's like you have to get out of survival mode. If you're in the middle of the ocean, right, the only thing you can think about is trying to get to the shore. You can't think about enjoying the beach. All you're thinking about is how can I keep my head above water? But to take that analogy one step further, what I understand is this, right? If you're in survival mode, right, asking somebody to save themselves when they already feel like they're drowning is a big ask, but the alternative is worse. That's drowning, right? So I know a lot of people are in the midst of like circumstances and challenges, but at the end of the day, like, no one is coming to save you, right? The best thing we can do is be a lighthouse to show you how to save yourselves, but we can't be a rescue boat, right? That's something that you have to be willing to do on your own once you get the light, once you get the information, once you get the access.
And so that's for me, I think it's definitely mindset too, because when you look at the empire that I've been able to build, a 7-figure empire, it was off of my introduction and understanding that Wow, I got $40,000 in credit that I'm able to leverage to be able to go ahead and get me to the point where my business is making money. Like when I left my job, I didn't have no game plan. I didn't have no money saved. So I leveraged $40,000 in credit. I have mentees who come into my program who are afraid to go to the bank or afraid to ask for a line of credit or afraid to apply for a credit card because they don't think that they should be doing that. They were taught to stay away from that. Nice. And then when they apply, this is even the crazy. It gets even deeper. This is how much we don't even realize, like what you said, abundance is our birthright. Yeah. I have people that apply for a line of credit. They'll get excited over $2,000, $3,000 approval. It's like, how is that excited? Yeah. when that same bank just gave me $10,000 and gave this person $20,000 and $30,000. Like, I have to reframe people's mindset to understand that, first of all, you can apply. Yeah. Secondly, you can actually get approved. And thirdly, you can actually get access to capital that will change the game for your financial future. You know what I mean? So people don't understand it. They shy away from the understanding of credit. It's crazy.
Yeah. And that's why I'm excited that you guys have come together, right? To create a 5-day experience where people could learn how to get the bag, learn how to invest the bag, learn how to keep the bag. Because especially now, right, we're living in this volatile time where I'll just say it, black financial freedom is under attack, right?
Ooh, yeah, that's real.
For years, there has been barriers in our way, right? Whether it's racism, whether it's slavery, whether it's legal Jim Crow laws and redlining. So like for years and years and years, there have been obstacles in the way to stop black wealth. We finally got to a space where the majority of us are woke. We're up. We're like, oh, you can make money, right? Okay, show me the way. And then you have people who might have gotten into the game with the right intention. They wanted to teach the culture based on what they knew. And then education became a lick. Right? Yep. Then people started to realize that, I could put a course out. I don't have to fulfill. I'll just make this money and I'm going to live tight, right? So there are some bad actors, if you will, that are in this space, right? But because, we're so used to not having and our comfort zone, we now have like muddied the waters where now anybody who's doing a course or anybody who's an educator, this person's a scammer. Right. And that's why, and my insiders know this, that's why I'm the biggest fan of 5-day challenges. I love 5-day challenges. You know why? Because if I say something and somebody hears me say something and they go on their TikTok or their Instagram or whatever and say the same thing, you can't tell who it came from, and their stuff might go viral, and they might not know I'm the originator, right? And then you can sell a course, or you can sell some program, you can sell an ebook or whatever, but if you don't know what you're talking about, you can't hold for 5 days. You can't hold for 5 days.
Nah, you can't hold for 5 days.
Right? And so I tell everybody, all right, cool, join the free webinars, and that's just surface level stuff. Right. But I need you to join these 5-day challenges because a 5-day challenge is really giving you the information, and you get to and I always tell people, do VIP, right? Do the top ticket, do platinum, do the top ticket. Why? Because now you get to ask questions, right? So not only and like I already know, right? Like I've been a banker for over 15 years. I've learned so much from Carter and Dion, right? And I'm at the top of the level, right? So for those who know, I was a CEO of a credit union. So I was at the top of the top of financial services, but still been able to learn. The information George just gave me just changed the trajectory. I don't think y'all understand. It just changed the trajectory of my life.
Yes.
I don't even leverage my investments at all.
Me either. I'm
talking about at all. I'm talking about, you gotta think about it, as a banker for 15 years, bro. I don't leverage my investments at all. And so now I'm like, bro, I'm running credit plays. I just went to a bank. Bank gave me $30,000 for no reason. Right. And I'm like, wait, hold on.
You can give yourself $200,000.
I said, hold up, wait a minute.
Your credit
y'all
doesn't
matter.
Finish.
Your credit doesn't matter. When I got that credit card, I And so I need people to tap into this 5-day challenge because I know y'all watching and y'all got a lot of information off of just this interview, but I'm sure there's other like nuances. Can we talk?
Yeah, hold on, wait. Let me come on.
Yeah.
First of all, time will either grow you or expose you.
Yo,
I'm 8 years in the game. Listen, what they got on here, that was just a little small piece in my bag.
Yeah.
The bag is heavy. Sometimes I struggle picking up my own bag. Listen, the only thing that you're going to be able to take from me in this 5 days is notes. And I'll talk fast, so you got to write fast.
Yes, sir.
Like, you can't listen slow.
Yes, sir.
So, like, for me, I know I've been in the game. This is my 8th year. If it was anything fraudulent or scamish about me, I couldn't be here.
Yeah,
right.
Like over time, people will either get exposed or you gonna grow. I've been growing. I've been
100%.
flourishing.
Yeah.
Like people have loved information. Only reason why I put together books and courses and mentorship programs is because I had more people coming to me saying, "I need your information. I need your help. I got an idea. I ain't got time for everybody."
100%.
Yeah.
So now I got to put together a book so you can get information. I got to take it out of here, put it down.
Yeah.
Now I got to take information out of here, put together a course, and I got to teach you, get the same energy and effort because your cousin told me about. Like I can't.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, well, what can we do? How can we give the people a live version of us?
Yeah.
And give us not just a piece, not just a webinar, not 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour.
Yeah.
5 days. You're gonna spend 5 days with us.
Right.
I'm gonna break down all of the
10 to
credit
12
plays.
hours.
10
You
to
see what I'm
12
saying?
hours,
You
bro.
know what I'm saying? We finna break this thing down. I'm going to show you how to put your credit together, but not to the point to where what you've heard and what you saw, you paid somebody $1,000, you didn't get no results. No, this ain't that.
Yeah.
This I need everybody to say this ain't that. This ain't that. I'm him. Hemi Neutron, and whatever hymns are.
Him Jones.
Like, come on now. Like, I am going to.
He the battle push right now,
I'm gonna give you the plays. I'm gonna give you the real deal. I'm gonna walk you through the process. Then once I show you how to repair, we're gonna show you how to really go to the bank and get a bag.
Yeah.
Right. Like what banks to go to and why. We're gonna break it down. What your credit profile need to look like line by line.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you how to look at your credit profile and tell you what your credit score is gonna be without even looking at the score. Like I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna break that thing all the way down, and then Carter gonna come in and George gonna come in. They gonna do their thing.
Yeah.
And I told Carter before I even was willing to collaborate on this, I was like, look, I still own a firm, right? I'm not one of these like people who's just like spewing information from the internet. I'm registered. You can go check my name. So I was like, if I'm gonna do this, we got to make sure we're giving the proper context. We're giving the actual nuance.
Yeah.
We're bridging the gap. We help people understand like what it actually takes to do these things. Yes, we want to let people know that it's not difficult to get in the game, but we want to make sure they understand exactly what it takes. Like we can do that. I'm in, right? Yeah. And I'm willing to give everything I have. Like he been telling me, like, yo, bro, like you being selfish, like you gotta get this game.
Yeah. But I had to will him in. I'm like, what you gave me changed my life, and I know this stuff. Again, I've been doing this for 10 years. But he gave me some stuff that I couldn't even conceptualize. So I'm like, I have to get him from behind the curtain. You gotta come in front of the people.
I think there's an obligation there, though. You know what I'm saying? I think there's an obligation. I think there's an obligation specifically for the people who care about the culture, right? Because I mean, there's been a few times where I was like, this is because they don't know behind the scenes. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of work to be a personality. It's a lot of work to put content together. It's a lot of work to, really have mentees. Like, people see, they making money, but you invest back into your mentee.
Especially y'all went crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of investing that goes back into our people. And so it's a lot of work, but at the same time, it's like the times that I fall back and then I look up and I see, again, some of these bad actors are louder than me.
Yeah, you gotta build a bigger building.
And then I'm like, now I gotta let me strap. Let me go back to war.
Come out of retirement.
You know what I'm saying? Out of retirement, because at the end of the day, I think that we have to understand as a people, right? And I love everybody. Yeah. But I love my people. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta, like when they say the plane's about to go down, they say put the oxygen mask on yourself first. You know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, it's like, people, like if you're a religious person, right? The scripture says people perish for the lack of knowledge. Yeah. Right? And so if I have knowledge, you got knowledge, if we all have knowledge and we're watching though, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm watching like my insiders, man, I know y'all make a lot of money, but y'all making a lot of money working a 9 to 5. Right? My entrepreneurs who are watching, I know you make money, but you're making the money. You work in your business.
Right. Yep, not on your business.
Not on your business. You work in your business, right? And I saw this quote recently that was salute to my brother Marvin. He posted this post that said, if you're valuable to your business, then your business is invaluable.
That's tough.
It's a bar. Like, people don't even realize that.
Yeah.
If you're valuable to your business isn't valuable.
You're killing your
And
valuation.
so guess what? You're working in your business, you're working in your job, like you're replaceable.
Yeah.
Right? And so what happens is, if anything happens to you, you're not going to ever get that income. This is why we talk about passive income.
Yeah.
Right? Passive income, using ChatGPT, using technology, but then also, getting the information from the professionals who do it every day.
Yep.
Because here's the thing, right? Like, rich people do the right things. Wealthy people own the right things, right? And so,
That's a bar.
you can be rich and make 6 figures, make 7 figures, but like you said, if you're contingent upon that, showing up, doing that, the moment you get sick, the moment you get hurt. Like, I had a health situation back in 2016 where I had a tumor in my spine that fractured my 9th vertebrae, right? And I was down bad. And that, for me, changed the trajectory of my mindset. Like, okay, wait. If I can't operate, then I can't produce this cash flow. I got to create a machine, right? Which is why investing is so important for me. Because if I would have stayed in my bedroom from January 4th till today, I still would have made 6 figures just from investing.
Wow.
Right?
Yep.
Not even the business infrastructure,
Right.
right? But just from investing. And so it's so important to put money into assets because wealthy people own the right things.
It's not, people have to understand, it's not just about the money you make, it's about how you make the money. Because a tax standpoint is different. When you make active income, you're paying 30, 40, 51% on active income. When you're making passive income, you pay 0 to 20%.
Wow.
Because it's long-term passive income.
Wait. Let's unpack that. So you're saying that active income, which is money that we work for, right? Which is the people who are on the grind, who are constantly working. You pay the highest taxes for active income, opposed to money that is passive, like the money that you make in your sleep. You pay less in taxes than that.
Absolutely. I tell people all the time, the more you invest, the less you pay the IRS, right? Because it's different on how you make money. And it's crazy because the sleeping bag money that you're making, you pay little taxes on that money. But the work that you're slaving to make that money, you paying 36% in federal tax, another 5 to 10% in state tax. Then you paying 15% in self-employment tax. So you're looking at 50-something% for going to work and make money. So you have to start taking the money you make and turning it into passive money so that you can make money in your sleep, and then you can pay less taxes on that money. And again, man, like, the reason I love challenges, as you put it before, is because some people just buy courses. Yeah. But with the 5-day challenge, you get a live course, but you also get connected to the source. Absolutely. Right? You're getting that source energy. You're able to ask us questions. You're able to really get to know who we are. And like you said, if you teach somebody for 5 days, if you ain't got it, you ain't gonna be able to hold it for 5 days. Right? Yeah. We are overflowing with information. Like, we fighting over, like, but we ain't got enough days. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we run out of time. You know what I'm saying? We got so much game. But, like, another thing about the challenge too is just, like, at the end of the day, I know these guys, right? I know they're willing to show results. Like, this ain't theory. We are, like, I will show you a live active portfolio. I'll show you current active investments. Our last webinar, I was like, look, what's the date on that? It was a congratulations on closing. It was 2 days before the webinar. We're not talking theory, right? Yeah. We're showing you actual plays that are actually being executed in real time, because I think the disconnect in this education space is people are repackaging information 100%, but haven't done the thing, right? And so we're gonna make sure y'all know, like, hey, this ain't theory. This is actually happening, so you can do it too.
And I feel like it's like in this education space, it's like the game of telephone, right? Like when you're a kid, where people are passing out information, and then by the time it gets to the next person, it don't even sound like what the original person said, right? And so it's funny because I watch it all the time. Like, I'll say something, then I'll look and I'll hear somebody try to say it, but they said it wrong. And I use specific words because those specific words keep the context. Somebody else says it, but it's like the context is wrong now, and I'm like, what are we doing?
It grinds my gears.
You know what I'm saying?
It grinds my gears.
Like, I promise, like, I'll see something and I can't even comment. I don't even want to. It's like, I know you don't know what you talk about. Yeah, I'm out.
That's why I tweet so much. 'Cause I go back in the archives, like, no, bro, I was the first one to say
right.
it.
Whatever.
Like, don't get it twisted.
Whatever.
And what I love about Dion is, like, on our classes and the challenges, he'll show people he has over $1 million in funding. Yeah. Like, you can't fake that. That is information. He's helped me get over $250,000 in funding from conversations, and that's why it's so important that you, like, get around the right people, because conversation changes compensation. And with this challenge, we're giving you that insight into our world. Like you are, for these 5 days, you are a homie, you are a family. What's up, like cousins? Like y'all are cousins, and we're gonna pour into y'all like we pour into each other. The reason we're wealthy is because, like, I know after this interview, Dion go start borrowing against a portfolio because he probably ain't doing it yet. You about to start doing it.
Talk about it.
The trajectory, he changed the trajectory of my life.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I got money sitting just, I mean, you know, it's
growing.
But look, I know the power of leverage, so I'm gonna leverage that. You know what I'm saying?
And just to piggyback off what he's saying about the importance of getting in the right rooms, is like, I heard this quote one time that changed my life. And the quote was, if you have a rich brother and a tall brother, you're more likely to be rich than you are tall. Because environment is more important than genetics. Right? Where are you planted? Right?
Wow.
You are born looking like your parents, but you die looking like your decisions.
Woo, Lord!
Like,
He came spicy. He came
It's smoking here.
He came with the spice.
so, I couldn't come on, on inside the vault right now and not bring the fire, but it's so important because being around the right people can change your whole universe. Right? We're on the #1 platform, one of the top financial platforms in the planet. Right? And now all of your
greatest
viewers,
money mindset on the show on the planet.
On the planet.
26 countries.
On the
top
planet.
200.
Talk heavy.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
He top 2, he not 2.
And not 2. Right? And we know that. We appreciate you allowing us to share this space. And now so many people, just by listening and executing, right, they're going to be able to change their lives. And that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to change life. It ain't about the money, right? We're all good. You got money sitting, he got money sitting. Like, this is about, this is a calling.
And like,
right?
think about spending 5 days with us, and then your mindset goes from, I got to work to make $100K a year, so I can run plays and get my credit fixed, and I can go and get access to $100K. Then I can go and run the plays that they giving me. I can save $100K. Then I can actually invest money to create a whole nother $100K. Then I can leave my job, and now I teach other people how to do it. I'm talking about we changing the game. 100%. This is like, but you think you got to work to make money? Like that's the mindset. The mindset is work to make money.
And you know the other piece that we often forget about the 5-day challenge is also the community that you built.
That's good.
Right? Like, so while they get, to spend 10 plus hours with you guys and get some new information, also think about it. I know your brother, your cousin, right? George just talking about the environment. We're so stuck in this toxic environment, and we're like, well, I don't know how to get a group of people who think on the same mindset as me. Right? So guess what? You get into this challenge. Now you are around other people who think so highly of themselves that they're willing to invest in their learning, invest in their future, and invest in them getting to that next level. And so now you're in a group of people who are now your new family. Now y'all on the same journey. Now y'all can connect with each other. Now y'all can continue to grow with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like so. That's you hit it so well because
hold on.
Oh my God.
Chill.
I walked into that. That was bad.
That was the worst.
Look,
it's gonna be all kind of laughing emojis in the comments.
For respect of the show, I wasn't gonna do it. But that was shit.
That was warranted. But like I was saying, you explained it so well because one of my favorite quotes is that you can survive without community, but you can't thrive without community.
Facts.
Right. So what we're doing for our VIP people, we give them a special telegram. Like they're in there right now, and I saw that they're building community. Somebody was like, "Yo, who lives in Chicago?" I was like, "I do." They met up for coffee.
Wow.
Like, and they just got in this exclusive community. So you're around other people who invested in themselves and take their future seriously. So many people at the crib right now, like, if I only had that one person, right? And that one person, when you go VIP, that's why going VIP is important because you get this exclusive Telegram group of high-level people, and you can start connecting with them before the challenge even starts. You can start making friends and colleagues. Like me and George met in a room, and we've made hundreds of thousands, if not millions, together from that getting that one in that one room. So that can be the same result from the people who get in the challenge.
And it's the same thing. Like when I met you in the room, it's you get to be around like-minded, higher level people. Because the problem with most individuals is that they're around people that's not like them, and you're trying to figure out, why do I act different? Why do I think different? Why do I want to invest in myself? But then when I start to tell people how these conversations, they looking at me weird, or they saying I changed, I'm acting phony. Well, no, it's not that I'm acting phony. I'm actually focused. So I'm gonna let you confuse focus with phony. pony. I gotta go crazy. I gotta level up. Like, it's my time to win. So in this 5 days, you get around people that have gotten to the point where they say, I'm done playing small.
Yeah.
Like, I want to play big. Like, I want to get to that next level. Who want to play with me? So like you said, when you go VIP, you get in this exclusive chat, this exclusive mastermind where now that you in with us, but then you're around all of these people that everybody on the same level. It's called I Want to Win. And it's like, you can't. It's almost like when we did our last challenge. The first day, people said, "Look, I got everything I needed." Like it's just day one. Like the money I pay, I'm good. And so it's like you're going to get way more than what you invested in. So it's something special around being around people who actually invest in themselves that's looking to go to that next level.
Yeah, no, I love it. And so what's the site they could go to? We'll put it in the description as well. But where do they go to join the challenge?
Getthebagchallenge.com.
Getthebagchallenge.com.
Easy.
And so I appreciate you, brothers. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, like my goal has only been to really amplify the culture, right? Really do as good a job as I could, giving quality information. I know, like I said, this interview changed my life. You know what I'm saying? So I already know that there's a lot of people watching right now that this interview has changed their life. You know, that they're gonna take action, right? Because these are action takers. Like I know my insiders, they take action. They ready to get to that next level. Let's leave them with one last like gem. I know they're gonna join the challenge because they action takers. Let's leave them one last gem that's going like. No pressure though. Y'all gave a lot. But like living one last gem.
What I would say is that I think most people, when we talk about like credit, I think most people have an issue with credit card utilization. Like that's one of the biggest things that I see. And so most people don't understand that is like one of the gatekeeping things that we haven't been educated and taught about, and which is obviously adding our children as authorized users to be able to help them build credit while they're younger. But I think that for those adults who are struggling with, credit card utilization, that is stopping you from being able to go to the bank, get access to capital. So one little easy website that I'll give everybody is just go to TradeLineSupply.com, and what it does is instead of let's just say if somebody has a $40,000 line of credit and they've used all $40,000, right? Or let's say somebody got a $10,000 line of credit, use all $10,000. Well, that person's at 100% utilization, so their credit score is gonna probably go down to about 100 points. Now, everybody in the comments want to say he talking to me because they feeling this, right? What I'm talking about. So you can go to TradeLine Supply as opposed to paying that $10,000 off with the interest. You can go to TradeLine Supply. You can add a $40,000 line of credit for let's just say $700. So adding that to your credit profile, now you got $50,000 available, $10,000 on the use. Now your utilization go from 100% down to 20%. Now that you're at 20%, your score went back up 100 some points. You can go to let's just say a Navy Federal credit union, go apply for a line of credit. They normally approve people for $20,000 to $25,000 lines of credit. You can now get that line of credit, add more credit card utilization. Utilization drop down even more. Now you can do a balance transfer of your old debt that you was paying at 20%, and now you got 0% APR for a whole year plus. So now you're not paying the debt, you're not paying the interest on that. Now the banks give you more money, go get access to more capital, and now you can go run the plays that we tell you. But see, I'm gonna give all this. Listen, I told you I got plays. You know what I'm saying? So for anybody that's got credit card utilization issues, that's a play that y'all can run.
And honestly, that being in this space, people with their utilization ratio is the biggest thing.
The biggest one.
Yeah, the biggest
that's
one.
been holding them
I just gave them that whole play.
You just freed so many people just now.
And everybody in the comments saying, "Well, I still owe the debt." Yeah, but now you got a year to pay that debt off, and now you don't have interest that you paying on.
Facts.
Like, come on.
Now oh my
18 months to figure it out.
And go run the plays that we gonna give you with the capital, and then just pay the money
No
back
pressure,
off.
George. We can stop right here. I can outro. I don't know if you can.
Listen,
I don't know. No pressure though. I can stop. I can just outro.
Hey, now we
I can
good.
tell everybody to go to Getthebagchallenge.com. You know what I'm trying to say? And we can just,
Hey, we good on this side, man. We good on this side.
Let's go.
But look, I'm gonna give them something to shift their paradigm, right?
Yeah.
Wealth is made through concentration. It's preserved through diversification, right? You don't have to build wealth slowly. You have to buy it by doing one simple thing, right? Stop trying to chase 7 streams and create a waterfall, right? And then you take that waterfall and then you go buy income, right? I'm not doing 7 different hustles, burning myself out, right? No.
Talk about it.
Create a waterfall, become world class at one thing, and then leverage that to buy wealth. And that's what I'm gonna leave them with. Real simple. You know what I'm saying?
That's the pressure. Okay.
Let's go.
Where we at?
Pressure bust pipes or make diamonds.
Should we outro or Carter got us?
I mean, come on now. I'm anchored for a reason, bro.
Okay, let's go.
I'm anchored for a reason.
Let's go.
So I want to teach the people how they can use the 5-day challenge to write off their mortgage.
Oh,
Okay.
Say that then.
Spicy. Okay,
Okay.
so
Get into it.
So it's called the Augusta rule. So you can, if you own a home, or if you own a home, it's not for renting. If you own, right, you can rent out your house to your business, right? So you rent out your home to your business as long as you're doing business activity in the house those days. So if I have a business, I can rent out my home to my business, pay myself, let's say a reasonable rate of $500 a day for renting the house out. So you plan out when the 5-day challenge happens, you create a lease agreement leasing out your primary residence to your business, charge your business $500 a day. You're able to get that money from your business, and all this is tax-free.
Wow.
And so now you're able to use the 5-day challenge as a way to make some tax-free income while you're learning about other places.
So essentially, and I'm glad he went last, right?
Yeah.
So essentially, they go to getthebagchallenge.com. They get a ticket, right? VIP ticket.
Yep.
They're actually, so if they don't do it, they losing money.
They losing money because they can't run the play.
Because you can't run the play if you're not in the challenge. So they get the VIP ticket, and then now during those 5 days, because they are watching the challenge at home, they're doing a business activity. They're charging rent of $500 per day, and so now they're making, or they get to charge $2,500
in tax-free
income. And they get to write off that.
And they get to write off
ticket.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the business gets to write off.
Wow.
And you get to write off the ticket, and your business gets to write off that $2,500 that you just charged yourself. So now you get a $2,500 tax deduction. You're making $2,500 tax free, and you get to write off the challenge ticket as well.
And what if you have employees and you invite them over?
Yeah, I mean, it can
We'll
explain the rest of that.
Okay.
Listen, y'all. I promised y'all this was going to be a revolutionary episode. Listen, we're going to teach you how to get the bag, keep the bag, invest the bag. Make sure you go to getthebagchallenge.com. The link is in the description. Tap in with these brothers. Again, I know that they have changed your life. So you want to make sure you tap in so they can further change not only your life, but your family's life as well. If they wanted to connect with you, where can they find you?
Yep, on Instagram at Mr. Phenomenal Power, on Facebook, Dion Coopwood. Yep,
Instagram at George Acheampong Jr.
Instagram, Carter Cofield.
All right, y'all. We are closing out the vault. Another powerful episode of Inside the Vault with Ash Cash, the greatest money mindset show on the planet. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Inside the Vault. Visit our website, InsideTheVaultShow.com. Me, I am Ash Cash. Make sure you visit me, IamAshCash.com. Follow me on all social media platforms at I am Ash Cash. Join the Abundance community, because we got some behind-the-scenes footage with them. They're going to drop some more bars. So make sure you join the Abundance community. Go to abundancecommunity.org. I am your guy. I'll see you next time, same place, in God's will. Peace!
Let's go.
That was